Coach Mark Pope and Alex Barcelo here following BYU's 82-77 win over Pepperdine in overtime to advance to tomorrow's championship game. We'll get started with a statement from Coach here in a sec. Same as past press conferences, please use the raise hand function if you would like to ask a question. Go ahead, Coach.
What a epic semifinal, right? You just love it. Postseason is just a beautiful thing, and you get to play against a great team that Pepperdine is, with two big time players. The leading scorer in the history of the WCC tournament, and Kessler Edwards, who's going to be a big time pro, and an unbelievable coaching staff, and you just have a great game like we did tonight. And so we're super grateful for that. We're grateful for Pepperdine for unbelievable performance tonight, and we're really grateful for I'm personally really grateful for the toughness of our guys, that we were able to kind of get it done at the end. So much of that credit on the floor and off the floor goes to Alex Barcelo, sitting right here beside me. So we're incredibly happy and excited about moving on.
Okay, Jeff, go ahead. First question.
Yeah, Coach, can you talk a little bit further about what you got from Alex tonight? He had 23 points, but he was all over the place in overtime. And of course, you got the basket that put you ahead for the first time all night at the end of regulation.
Yeah, it's not the first time Alex has done that. He's snuck a basket, and he did that against Pacific also at home in a huge game for us, a game that was so important that we had to gut out just like this one. It was interesting because Alex got a lot done off the ball tonight. His first couple of threes were both threes where he was a snap guy, and it was really effective for us. And credit to the other guys on the team. Alex coming up with huge rebounds down the stretch. I mean, it seemed like every other possession he was the guy coming up with a big time rebound. Made some great defensive plays. So all that on the court is important, but it really is been the building of this team that he started in earnest this summer, as we were trying to figure out how to function as a team with the limitations of COVID, and him reaching out to every single guy and lifting them up and helping them understand what it meant to be a BYU Cougar, and what it meant to be a part of what we're striving to have as the best locker room in America, and what it meant to turn frustration into fight, and teaching our guys one by one individually what that means, and then doing it by example. Clearly, I'm a big fan.
If I could ask a follow-up question to Alex. Can you just talk about what it means to get to the championship game tomorrow, and what kind of energy level you expect your team to have going against Gonzaga?
It means everything to us, really. We set out with a few goals for this team at the beginning of the season. And, I mean, we knew the noise that was out there. Everyone was kind of counting us out. And this group really rallied together, and the coaching staff rallied us together, and kind of met on the mountaintop up in Provo, and just had a heart-to-heart talk about what we wanted for this season. And we see it. Things are coming true, and we still got games left ahead of us and things that we still want to accomplish. But I mean, this team is just so great at going out there and laying everything we have on the floor, and I think that's exactly what we're going to do tomorrow night. We're going to give it everything we have.
If I can ask you about one play in particular at the end of overtime, when Johnson made that steal of the pass that was trying to get to Edwards, and he somehow flipped it back to you. What did you see when that play unfolded?
Oh, I just saw that Spencer was worried about the right things. He had one thought in his mind, and that was winning. And I mean, that carries on throughout our entire team. We knew that play won us the game. I think him going out there and getting a steal. I mean, we stressed the entire game and before the game in our scout, just making Edwards get tough catches, and that's exactly what he did towards the end right there.
Darnell, go ahead.
Yeah, Alex, we've heard the phrase turning frustration to fight a lot this year for you guys. This game seemed to be a real good example of that, because a lot was going wrong with turnovers and things. How did you guys persevere through that to win this game?
We kept looking each other in the eye in our media timeouts and telling each other the game's not over. It's not over. We got a lot of game left. And that's exactly what we do. I mean, that was one of the things that Coach Pope said to start off this. And that's exactly what we do. We turn frustration into fight. And there was every single thing that probably could have gone wrong in the first half for us in the first couple minutes, but these guys just battled back. We've been in positions like that throughout the season and come out with wins. We've also come out with losses. And, last time we played Pepperdine at their place, it didn't turn out too well for us. But, I think we really focused on what we did wrong in that game, and that was rebounding. And, rebounding, getting stops. We put a couple kills together towards the end, and our bench was just so into it, so energetic, talking to us on each media timeout. We could hear them on the sidelines, just the energy that they had, calling out every play, knowing scout. And man, I'm so proud of us.
Mitch, go ahead.
Yeah, this question's for Mark. Mark, you guys go the last 4:33 without a field goal, yet you still come away with a win, and you win by 5 points. Just what can you say about the defensive effort in the final minutes, but also the overtime?
Yeah, it was a collective effort. It was really so proud of that. You think about Pepperdine has two, for Pepperdine, generational players. I mean, you don't walk into this tournament with the leading scorer in the history of the tournament very often, and they do. And then this Kessler Edwards is a pro, and both those guys can go get buckets really at will a lot of times. And so, between the effort we made in the backcourt and the way things were shored up by our front line going to help, Matt Harms is he's such a prolific. I mean, he's the defensive player of the year. I mean, you don't walk into the West Coast Conference tournament with the defensive player of the year on your roster all the time either, especially at BYU. We haven't been walking in with the defensive player of the year. So just a collective effort. And then you look at it. I mean, I don't know how many of those closing rebounds Alex Barcelo came up with, but I think he probably came up with more than anybody else. And so it is a team. It is 100% a team effort. And we're really proud of it. We've joked around a little bit about how we're beautiful ugly, that we win beautiful ugly. We've won 20 times beautiful ugly this year, and we dig it, man. Let's go. Let's make some T-shirts.
A win's a win.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Mark, you've always talked about how you believe that BYU is a place that can win big, and you want to take a shot at this thing. Just maybe speak to the opportunity that's in front of you, 40 minutes away from an automatic bid and facing the number one team in the country on Tuesday night.
Well, we're the only team in America. We're the only team in the country that's got to or will get to play Gonzaga 3 times. So we're really blessed, because they're a great team. They are a great team. We talk about generational things. They're a generational team. I don't know when or if I've seen a team with 5 guys on the floor that are as skilled and can pass the ball and make plays for each other like they can. And we were incredibly frustrated with our first effort. Our second effort was a little bit better, and we got to find a way to step up and raise our level of play to match them. They deserve a great game tomorrow, and we're hungry to play a great game. And we think we have more in the tank. We believe we do. And so it is a real blessing. You couldn't ask for anything more as an athlete or a team or a coach to be able to get another shot at those guys, because they're really special. But we think we're special also.
All right, Sean, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, kind of similar to what we just asked Alex about Spencer's final play, that final steal. I mean, just how much had to go right, and how much did Spencer kind of have to, I guess, like Alex said, focus on the right things, like you were saying about Trevin even a couple of weeks ago, just focusing on the right things, being in the right spots, and then also Connor being in the right spot to come up with that steal on the other side of it. How much had to go right, I guess.
Yeah, you know what? It's something that's really special about our roster. It's something that these guys have taken to heart, is that we believe that every single guy on this team is making game-winning contributions. I mean, Alex Barcelo will tell you about Cam Pearson's pregame speech. It might have been the greatest pregame speech ever. I mean, this guy is teaching our team what VDVC means and how it goes down and why it applies to us. I don't know if any of our guys know any Latin, but they do now, and they know it with a ton of juice. And then you think about like every single guy down the row, whether it's Hunter Erickson making ask our players. Hunter Erickson gives us the best scout look that you could possibly want. And Brandon Warren and Spence making that play, and Connor Harding, he didn't have a great night, but he was a guy that we trusted down the stretch to come in and actually keep us together. And, Caleb Lohner played a boatload of minutes today. It was just so solid. And it's just, you go down the list, everybody's contributing. And I do think our guys believe, I do think they believe more and more every day that every single member of our team is making vital winning contributions to our team every single game. I think they believe it. I'm going to go back to Cam Pearson. So Cam ran in, we give this pregame speech. A different guy gives it every game. Cam's now 3-0. He's super proud of that. And so Cam ran into the locker room about 2 minutes before he was supposed to deliver his pregame speech. And he was so nervous. And he's not nervous because he's scared of talking in front of the team. He's not scared at all. He's nervous because he knows that his 2 minutes in that locker room in front of our team is going to make a difference if we win or lose, just like everybody else does. And so going back to that play that Spencer made, I mean, that's one of 100 plays in the game that was made by somebody or somebody else that made the difference in the game. And it's a beautiful thing to see a team function. It just is inspiring. And so that's what I think about that.
All right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks, Alex. Congrats and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We'll have Pepperdine here momentarily. We're anticipating Coach Romar and Colby Ross.
Oh, man, hard fought game. Both teams really competed at a high level, and that's all you can ask from your team. I'm proud of our guys, how we competed. We came out on the short end of the stick, which is very unfortunate. But all we tell our team is if we go out and compete and lay it all out there and we're locked in, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But didn't work at the end tonight, but proud of our guys.
Okay, with that, we'll take the first question. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry about that. For Colby, a difficult night for you, it seemed like most of the night. The game didn't have a lot of rhythm most of the night partly because of 49 fouls. But just talk about your emotions now when it's over and how hard you guys played, if it just couldn't make enough plays down the stretch.
It's a tough feeling right now, knowing that this is my last chance to play in the WCC tournament, my last chance to make the NCAA tournament. So it's pretty tough right now. I'm pretty sad, honestly. I wanted to do it for Coach Rowe, my teammates, for Pepperdine. Like that was my biggest goal. So it's just hard right now. Tough night. The shots weren't falling. didn't get the best of looks, but you just gotta live with the result at the end of the day.
Austin, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, what was the game plan in the overtime period to get Colby the ball, and how did BYU do in terms of limiting his touches?
Say the last part of the question again.
How did BYU do in terms of limiting Colby's touches in overtime?
I don't know if it's as much as them limiting his touches. Colby had been trying to carry the load all night, and we tried to defer a little bit a couple of times in the overtime. But everyone tries to concentrate and take Colby out of the game. But, he was able to get up 24 shots, so give them a lot of credit. They have good size in there. They're physical. But the ball just didn't go in. We had good looks.
Any other questions? Jeff, go ahead.
For Lorenzo, the game had 49 fouls called. I'm not asking you to comment on the officiating, but just how difficult it was to sort of get any rhythm in a game like that, where it was just, especially in the second half, felt like the game was stopped constantly.
Both teams were out there competing. Both teams, neither one was backing down from the other. And as a result, there were a lot of fouls being called. And they were being called on both teams, whether you question which ones were called on us or not, or, it was just a hard fought game. And we didn't quite get over the hump to pull it out. So no excuses that way.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are any other questions, thanks, Coach. Thanks, Colby.